And that was the brilliant sound of the Last Vinci there with Nemesis. What a class track. And I'm absolutely delighted to say I've Alex here from the Last Vinci. How are you, Alex?
Hi, Richie. How are you doing? Thanks
Man,
for having me.
that's so cool, man. What a great track.
Thank you, man.
I was lucky enough to see last Saturday night. You opened the great, actually, lineup yourselves, Corrosa with the album launch, and Elder Druid. So that was my first time seeing you live as an act, and it just blew me away.
I'm super happy about it.
Wow. As a
It's
three-piece, you're fucking class, man.
Yeah, it's funny because actually technically we should be a four pieces, but I mean, coming from the experience of Order of the Mass that was on my own, having all of these gears and the guys that I used to play with, actually they I mean they're actually in Italy, but I mean I have another band here, so actually we try to stay small and tight, and having this fact, having a lot of amps behind me with a lot of loop station and things I can cover the missing of the second guitar. And then I mean everybody was complaining that I was too loud all the time with my guitar, so in this case I sorted out the issue of the second player.
Oh, really?
So-
Yeah? Jesus. Like, just, it's a band, what I took away from watching you live is I would love to fucking play bass in your fucking band. Man, I just thought it was class. The bass lines right through all the songs were fucking class. Did you write those, or
No,
who was-
actually, I mean I wrote them. I mean the main parts of all the songs, but yeah, the Last Vinci is since the beginning, since my first album was always a teamwork. Okay, so I mean I had the pleasure to work with a small Italian band called Testa di Morte. That was at the time called Satellite, and the three guys who wrote 4 on the 6 tracks of the EP that is gonna be out now. Are the main writer of the drum parts and the bass part. I was bringing the main structure of the song, but the arrangement is coming from these guys. Okay, so
Okay.
and in particular the bass player David Bones is unbelievably good, and he's a super artist, and is the guy. I went in the studio with him in February, and I mean we had some parts wrote 4 years ago after our first UK tour in 2015, and he went in the studio, and I say, look, I really would like to have something, I don't know, that is actually moving around the guitar, because I have a lot of guitar parts. And I just say that to him, and he did all the rest, and I say, okay, it's fine. It sounds amazing, so it's great.
But you can understand where I'm coming from, because that I did definitely pick that up. I just kept going, fucking hell, what a beautiful, there was some beautiful bass lines running right through all those songs.
Yeah.
And the lads that are playing with you at the moment is Brasco and
Conal Murphy. Yeah.
Connell.
Yeah.
Okay, so how'd you meet him?
I mean, Conal or Brasco, both of them, is actually, I mean, with Brasco, we are friends since we were 3 years old.
No way. Really?
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because, I mean, life is so weird that, I mean, I left the country in 2011 to move in Ireland, and he moved last year with his family, and it actually was my first drummer when I was 14. Okay,
Jesus, that's mad.
and it was actually my first drummer. And then for the first band that I had with him, he moved to be a singer because he has an amazing voice, and actually, I mean, we ended up in 2011 with this band called Non-Conventional Sound, and without playing together anymore, but we were big friends. We're still in contact, and when thanks God, the Italian economical crisis bring all the friends of mine here, so I'm super happy about it. And it's funny because he went over last year when I was finishing the tour with Order of the Mass, and we started to jam again. He wanted to come back on drums, okay. Then I have all these trucks, and he started to play the drums with me, and we had this idea to come back to make stuff together, and it wasn't real. Conal Murphy instead is the guitar player of another Cork band that actually is not playing very often now anymore. It's called Rich City Vultures. I was touring, I was having a lot of gigs with them with Order of the Mass.
Okay.
And in particular, I'm a very, very big friend with Conal for a very funny trip that we had from Cork to Bundoran.
Oh yeah,
because last year with Order of the Mass we won the battle of, it was the unsigned contest for the C-Session Festival.
Okay,
and
yeah.
we played the main stage last year in
Cool.
the C-Session. And on that gig, we played many times in Bundoran after winning that contest, and we could have the chance to bring a super band with us. So.
Right.
And we were in love with Rich City Vultures. They were class people, class musicians. And then, I mean, the one thing that always really made me impressed about what we were doing with music, and that two of the guys were living in Dublin and other two were living in Cork.
Right.
They never practiced together. And they were going on stage without practicing, and they were really rip off the stage. And they say, "How can it be possible?" And they discovered later that it wasn't. They weren't practicing. So
Jesus.
I say, "How can it be? They are so
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
So, and as soon as actually I went out with the idea to come back with Last Vinci to move, I mean, to record my new stuff and to come back on tour, and it was actually one of the first person that I think about, and
Okay.
and he's a physicist. Actually, he's a quantum physicist,
Very good.
and he's 22.
Jesus.
He's super wise. He's
Yeah.
an amazing guitar tech. He's an amazing friend, an amazing musician. I could have been so lucky like this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about
And
it.
effortless on the bass. Like,
Yeah,
effortless.
it's super cool. And
So let's talk about. We'll talk about the new EP, which is mad. But I just want to bring you back to the video of Nemesis. So that came across my way. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it's a fucking great video, shot locally up the north side, isn't it?
yeah, it was actually shot in a Douglas Gymnastics School.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, and
What was the idea behind it?
the idea behind that actually one of my kid, my daughter Maria,
Okay.
she's a gymnast, and
Right.
she started actually 1 year ago, and I went for the final year show of the gym,
Yes.
and in December last year, and I saw these amazing two guys making all the flips and this kind of thing. Oh my god, this is an idea for a video. And I was so impressed in particular, I was impressed about the kind of way that this school is having, and the passion that they have they're giving to all the athletes in the school.
Right.
And my daughter is still so much engaged in what they're doing there. So I felt the connection with the passion compared with the project that I'm doing. And
Yeah.
on the other side, as soon as I went out for the show, I called Matteo Casalegno, that is actually my main director at the
Yeah.
moment.
He's worked on a few of your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's another big friend of mine, and he's the kind of person that is, when I'm coming out with very weird ideas, and I'm usually coming out with very weird ideas, he's the one that say, "No, man, please." I mean, in terms of production, props, and all the things, it's not possible. When I went out with that idea, he say, "Oh, look, I talk with the director of the gym. Let's see what they say." Okay.
And is Matteo based in Ireland?
He's another friend, and thanks to the economical crisis of my country, moved to Ireland. He's actually living in Dundalk.
In Dundalk. Okay.
And he used to come over here to make some videos also for Order of the Mass. And
Yeah.
and actually, we were still in contact. Then he moved to Ireland as well. So, and I have everybody here. So,
Jesus Christ, we'll have a great football team in a few years'
I
time.
mean, really, I mean, everybody say that to me. When are you gonna have a new football team? They win something. And anyway, so nothing. I sent an email to the director of the gym and I say, look, I really would like to involve Meg and Kian, these two guys that are on the video. Talking about Nemesis, about this kind of fight that is actually talking about the lyric of the song. And I got a reply back something like 24 hours later saying, "This is amazing.
Yes.
We have to make it." For the guys, it's going to be great because these two guys are professional gymnasts and they're really training 5-6 times per week.
Yeah.
And they're 17, 16 years old, and they have the kind of discipline that we should all learn about.
Yes.
So,
yes.
and it's unbelievable. Actually, I mean, I wanted just to add this because it's important. Meg, the girls of the video, just won the silver medal, something like last week in the worldwide championship of gymnasts.
Really?
Of his age, and there was a big celebration now at the
Wow.
moment. And
It's not something that's covered really on a local level, probably, but on a nationwide level, Jesus Christ, there's no shout outs or nothing.
No, I know, but in the
bizarre.
environment of the gymnast, I mean,
Yeah.
all of the kind of course of sport, I mean, everybody was talking about that.
Yeah,
It's so good. I mean, they're still, I mean, they're not in the adult, section of the gymnasts, but he's actually I mean, in the junior one, still in junior one, they're already in the.
It's an amazing achievement.
It's super amazing achievement, and I was so proud. I mean,
Fucking hell.
she's in my video.
And she's in your video. How long did it take the video to shoot?
2 days.
2 days.
Two
Okay.
lovely days. Actually, it was actually 2 days. It was the shooting outside, and on the Saturday and the Sunday we made the
Yeah.
That played them.
That's great, man. So then we better go and talk about the new EP, and it's called The World, Enda Kenny, The Devil, The Vegans, and all the millennials shit. Millennials shit. Yes, I did say that right.
It's right.
Okay, where did that come from?
Okay, one of the song is having the title of the EP. Okay. It's mainly is related to, is going to run the meaning of we are complaining about everything. Okay. Yeah. But then I can
think that's been our nature, Irish. Anyway.
Exactly. No, it's the nature of the human being, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're nothing compared to Italians, man.
Okay.
Really.
I'll believe you on that.
No, trust me, really. And in terms of complaining, but it's actually a human being attitude, you know, to never be happy, you know, or maybe complain about something, or having this kind of attitude to always pointing to someone else in terms of finding a solution. And actually, in the song that is having that title actually, at the end of that, the word Enda Kenny, the devil, the vegans, and all the millennial shit, they say, for fuck's sake, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Actually, say we can stop to really talk about these kind of things, complaining about. I mean, the word Enda Kenny, I put Enda Kenny in the middle. I want to tell you the reason why.
Go on, yeah.
Enda Kenny, you know, he's the ex-prime minister, okay? And I had the chance to see him a couple of times, okay? Right. Everybody was complaining about the boy. I mean, I don't want to go inside the political thing, but is the thing that, you know, it was properly the main reason of complaining about how Ireland is so bad. I mean, when actually it's not only done on one person, you know, it's a system, it's something that is different. So I was just using himself as a, you know, as a representative of that kind of category, you know.
And you're right, actually, because anytime you see his name, you like almost it's like a reflux, just like a gritting of a teeth when you see his name, like ugh. And is that whole title in the chorus of that song? You actually sing that whole section?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that'd be interesting. How many songs are on the EP?
There are 6 songs.
Six. Okay.
Songs, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, actually,
any more titles?
Okay, yeah. I mean, the first track is called The One.
Okay.
And the second one is actually Nemesis. Then we have The Narrow Door.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the next single. Actually, it's going to introduce the EP. And it's coming out on the 24th of September.
Okay.
With another amazing video, man.
I can't wait, man. Your fucking videos are... you have me sold on your videos with Order of the Mess as well. I love them, you know? And
the next one is, of course, The Word and the Kenny, the devil, the vegans, and all the millennial shit. Then we have You Will Understand and What We Are Today.
Okay. And are they all... are they different... songs? Is there fast, slow tempos, or is it a nice mix?
We have this. I mean, I can tell you. I mean, there are some songs that are very. I mean, they are a mixture with quiet and rock. I mean, I mean, I love Foo Fighters. I love Queen of Stone Age, Bob Mould, and all these kind of artists that I'm in love with. And actually, there are different kind of feelings. I mean. I grew up listening to Metallica, so I have a lot of that kind of heavy riffs and this kind of things. And on the other side, I have very melodic. I have a lot of. I'm a romantic person. Come on, I'm Italian. Come on.
Class.
And that's it. So actually, there's different kind of way of. I mean, there are some more rock stuff, more stoner stuff, and longer songs, shorter songs. I mean, anyway, is heavy rock, and with a really taste of melodic. So.
And you recorded it. Did you use One Black Sock Studios again?
Yeah, cool. Actually, One Black Sock Studio is Carlo Faggio Girardi. Actually, I can say, it looks very funny to say, but he's my producer.
Yes.
He's actually he's the first one who believed in me when nobody was believing in me. Mm-hmm. So, and he recorded my first demo in 2010. And he's another big friend of mine. And I was actually fan of his band when I was something like 13 years old.
What was his band?
It was called Enslow. And they were doing something like Korn. They were super class. He's an amazing bass player.
Right.
And I can tell you that in my bedroom, I had one of his strings broken from one of his gig, like having, like...
You were fanboying.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's funny because I have pictures with him after one of his gig when I was very small. then we became friends. There was some connection. We were going in the same holiday place when we were kids, and
All right.
I work with him. So and actually he's a metal producer,
Right.
and I'm one of the few rock production that he's doing.
Okay.
And but there's we don't have to talk to each other. We know exactly what we want, and I'm super happy about the result of the EP. And
Wow. Did he do? He worked with you in the last. Was it the last album as well?
Yeah. It was actually he recorded all sort of the Mess album. So this album it was recorded in Turin, my own town.
Okay.
And because this EP in a certain way wasn't supposed to come out, and it was the idea of my wife that she's my real manager.
Very
And
good.
We went in Italy to introduce my last baby and to my family, and I was struggling to find a studio here to let him come here to record something.
Yeah.
And she told me, look, my parents are living 5 minutes from the studio of Carlo. Why you're not going to record there?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay with all my silly relatives so you can record to stay away. And I go, oh my love, I love you. This is the best idea ever. So I spent 10 days that I wasn't supposed to record anything there. 5 days on 10, I was in the studio recording the EP.
Wow. Okay.
And
great.
it was, logistically speaking, was the best solution ever.
Yeah.
Because, for example, with him, we recorded the first album, Order of the Mess album in the Westland studio in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
It was not easy. It was very complicated. It was in a very fancy studio. But anyway, more strict in terms of timeline. And so I recorded there, and it sounds huge. I'm super happy.
Yeah. Did you bring your guitar with you? Obviously, then you predicted that.
I'm well organized to ship all my stuff.
Yeah.
I recorded with all the gears of my producer. I needed just to bring my guitars, my pedal board, and
So you had all that.
he had already most of the stuff that I'm using here already there,
Yeah.
so I don't have to bring anything.
So a lot of bands also, the likes of Zero from Limerick, and they send their stuff off to producers, in Canada and stuff. So they get their stuff sent back, and it's kind of an email back and forth. So I presume that was a lot of the case near the final editing, was it?
It was mainly for the mixing.
The mixing, okay.
All the recording part was done together.
Yeah.
I have my own little studio here in Cork where I do all the pre-production. So I do all the pre-job that need to be done to complete the songs, and then I go to the studio with him. Then all the mixing thing is happening, through web. Let's say.
Yeah.
Actually, we go back and forth with him, and that's it.
And your first album, Happiness is a Question of Choice. You released an EP. See, this is where I'm just confused there. You released an EP of 4 or 5 songs. The Last Vinci EP, Follow Your Order, Next, Killer, Wrong Day, and Damned. But then a year later, then you released it as an album.
Yeah, because
what happened there?
It's happened that 4 songs were my first 4 songs.
Okay.
They are super bad, man. Super bad English. I wasn't able to sing in English. Wasn't good in terms of a lyricist. So it was not easy. But then I wrote the rest of the album, and because when I wrote the 4 songs, after something like 5 months, I moved to Ireland.
Oh, right. Okay.
So. And in the meantime, I wrote the rest of the songs. So 1 year and a half later, I decided to complete that and using that 4 tracks, including that 4 tracks with other 7 tracks to make an album.
Right.
So it's mainly like that. So that 4 songs in the album, you can properly feel it that they're coming from a different kind of background.
Okay.
So I'm still proud of that.
Yeah.
It was I always believe in that. Writing music is talking about a period of time, okay?
Yeah.
So, and for me was, important to write the songs. It was a step to go where I am now. So
yeah. So you've learned from your previous album. Again, you released 3 singles. Follow Your Order, the video, again, very good. And that was with Tomek Jetski, yeah, who's gone on to do a lot of really good things since.
Yeah, now at the moment he was in Cork at the time, and now he moved in Galway. Actually,
yeah, heavy man films. He's with now.
He's doing a lot of stuff. The music video with him was pretty weird because I don't know how I got involved to make the video with him.
Right.
Because a friend of mine introduced me Tomek to say, I think he's an amazing director, but he's not doing music videos. I don't know if he's actually going to be
Yeah.
happy to make it. I proposed my idea. I told him was the idea behind that, and he say, yeah, let's make it. Let's do it. And it was brilliant. That one was a super big production. So
Yeah, it looked like it as well. Because I came across him with a band called Baylor.
Oh, yeah.
So he did Call of the Unknown, I reckon, with Baylor. And he just did the one video, I think, by them. So I was just intrigued when I was just doing a bit of research on your video, and the name popped up. I went, how do I know that name? And it was he did stuff with Baylor. So then you released as well, Free From Yourself and No Place to Hide as well.
Yeah.
So that's great that you actually have an affinity for releasing videos with the singles, you know. So I'm intrigued in relation to the next one that's coming up, you know. So
this is something that we never did before. I tell you this, it was unreal, man.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
I don't want to spoil or anything, but I can tell you that it's something super funny.
Yeah, cool. My favorite video of your stuff is an Order of the Mess song. Actually, it's Sci B, and that was directed by Nicola Martini.
Yeah.
That was class. How did that come about? Was that filmed in Ireland? Was it? Or?
Was actually filmed in, oh my god, now I forgot the name. Actually, it was the holiday house of one of the very old Prime Minister of Ireland. I
Really?
discovered it later.
Okay.
I mean, I think that is related to a company of tea in Ireland. I don't know.
Barry's tea or one of those.
I don't know if it's something related with Barry's family.
Alright,
Okay? I mean, but I just found that house with the director when we were looking for the place, and I discovered then later that actually that house was the old holiday house of that Prime Minister. Okay,
yeah.
It's a super huge mansion. It's actually, I think it's in West Cork.
Okay.
Anyway, at the moment I don't remember, man. I mean,
Yeah.
but it was. I think yes, he was going to Tralee, something like
Right.
this. And anyway, yeah, it was an unreal video as well. We
Yeah.
should that in one day.
Really?
One day.
Yeah, I just don't know. I really like that video, and just the way that she's kind of in the bath, she's in the kitchen, and the band are playing there the whole time, and then the last bit where she just starts running to the lake, you know, that's really cool, really nice. So
Nicola Martini is another amazing.
how did you come across her?
It's another. It's,
Don't say
it's
she's-
life of connection, man.
Yes,
It's-
of course. Yeah,
I mean,
firm believer of it.
is actually the brother of my. I mean, of the drummer of my first band, Unconventional Sound.
Oh right, okay,
And I knew him when actually he was something like 10 years old.
okay,
And he grew up to be is a graphic designer, a director. He's an amazing brain. He's actually is the author of the artwork of my new EP.
Very
And
good.
he's actually was struggling with Brasco. We were struggling for weeks to find a solution for the artwork. I was coming out with a lot of metal emo things, you know, the mirror, the pictures, kind of thing. And we wanted just to have something simple, something that it was coming to the point.
And is that the artwork actually, the yellow? Okay, with
It's
the
that one.
headpiece of Enda Kenny. Okay,
yeah, is the word and the can, the deals, and is
very easy to put together. Yeah.
exactly. And it was just also for all the rest of the thing, all the merch and this kind of thing. So it was a good point.
Oh right, okay. So are you going to have yellow T-shirts? Sweet.
I
man.
mean, I'm gonna have some limited edition online,
Okay.
and then we have for the EP tour of the promotion of the tour that we're gonna do until the end of the year. We're gonna have one particular T-shirt only for
Right.
the EP, specific for the EP.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do some limited edition online. And
The only yellow heavy metal T-shirt I've seen is by a band called DRI. They're an American hardcore band, and I think it's is it Trash Zone or Crossover, but it's yellow. You know.
I know, man. The
stands
thing
out.
that you say heavy metal. I don't feel myself as an heavy metal head. I can say I'm a romantic person with heavy riff in the head.
So like, when did you discover heavy metal then?
I discovered heavy
Or
metal.
what age are you?
I was 9 years old, something like this. I mean, and it was thanks to Metallica.
Yes.
It was thanks to the Black Album.
Oh, right, okay.
And in particular, it was a huge crush for me because, in particularly, the funny story is that I mean I was big time inside the classical music. I mean, I'm the eighth of my family. The reason why I'm called the Last Vinci. And,
Okay. Cool.
And actually, all my brothers and sisters were playing an instrument. Everybody was in the Italian in Italian music, very pop music, and or very classical stuff. My sister was playing in an orchestra, and I was studying piano, but I mean, I was bored. I was super bored, and until this classmate in the primary school gave me the Black Album. It was actually a cassette with the Black Album, and
Was it a copy?
it was a copy. Was that, and he did the artwork himself.
Okay, very good.
I still have it somewhere. I have, I can still feel the kind of feeling that I had touching that. When actually you were drawing something with the markers.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling on the head that actually the ink is going away, and I still have that in my hand.
We always used to trade cassettes, man, and
was
you'd always have
class.
the fucking heavy metal writing, and the
was
listing.
class.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Man. It
Class,
was
yeah.
so fun.
And actually, in that cassette, there was the Black Album,
Right.
plus something like 4 or 5 songs of Load Live, something like that. It was the year of
Bootleg.
Load.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because actually it was talking about 96, 97, something like this. And but I mean, I remember the date, and when I listened for the first time to that song, I say, "Oh my God, this is the music that I want to do."
Yeah,
And I switched straight away from piano to guitar.
Really, yeah.
So, and actually, there's another funny story, because with this classmate, we were living in the same building estate in Turin, and there were Metallica coming from the Load tour.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
I
they would be
wanted to
in it.
go. My brother saying, "No, you don't have to go because there's the fire, there's the devil, this kind of thing." Well, this kind of, oh my God. And it was super funny because I really went inside that. And I think Metallica properly, they changed completely my way of, the conception of music for me. And
Okay.
in the meantime, on parallel, pop music and melodic stuff was still with me. I'm still a big lover of that. I still love melodies.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and actually, yeah, it was super cool.
So, can you remember what you kind of like? Who was your next band after Metallica? Can you remember?
Oof, I mean, for sure, Nirvana.
Nirvana. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, thanks to Brasco, actually, because he was super addicted with Nirvana.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time in his bedroom listening to Nirvana.
Yeah.
And thinking about how cool was Kurt Cobain, this kind of thing. Yeah, but I never went too much inside that. I mean, but it was definitely the second band that was important for me. And then thinking about, there's another band, American band called Stained.
Okay, I wouldn't know much of them, but
And,
I've heard
when
of
they
them.
won, it's been a while.
Yeah,
It was there was it was fault of the radios. They were playing a lot of that song, and
Yeah.
and
Like Italy is unusual, kind of insofar as that you'd wonder, is there much of a metal scene? But there is, I'd say they're fanatics. There's no middle ground. They're just fanatics. But is it?
everything.
Yeah. But like, what would you say? Kind of the breakdown would be in it's more popular music and classical they listen to really over there, is it?
The situation in Italy at the moment, musically speaking, is a bit weird because talking about metal or this kind of things, is a niche genre of music. Okay. We are completely surrounded by all the talent show, but in a very bad way, I can say.
Okay.
And because people is getting addicted, is the TV. The TV is still a big thing in my country. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm still not understanding why, but it's still like this. Then at the moment we are in a kind of songwriter moment. Okay, everybody's a songwriter.
Right.
Okay, I have a lot of friends that coming from, for the kind of period, the period of the 2000s that were playing with me in rock bands, they became all songwriters.
Okay.
Okay.
What, just to score chicks?
I neither, because actually it's like, it's like the damned poet, it's actually the kind of,
okay.
everybody needs to behave like they are all Bob Dylan, but nobody knows where Bob Dylan is coming from. There's kind of things that I'm not understanding why it's like this, but actually the moment is like this. Everybody's inside that.
Right, okay.
And
that's mad.
Yeah, it's mad. I'm so happy to live in Ireland, man.
And it's funny because you were supposed to come Tuesday here, but like kind of on the Monday I kind of just looked at the date and I just saw, fucking hell, it's my 18th wedding anniversary on the Tuesday, and I went, oh shit. And the irony of it is I actually got married in Rome.
no way.
Yeah.
Where in Rome?
Is it the St. Patrick's Cathedral? I think
Okay,
it's yeah.
The lovely
But it was
one.
just a bizarre honeymoon because kind of during that honeymoon, I managed to fit in 2 soccer games. I went to see Vincenza in Venice, Vincenza versus Verona.
Wow.
So
Tough,
and that
tough
was
match.
yeah, it was fucking mental. It was like Saving Private Ryan because we followed the Rye police down to the pier and the ferry came down and all the Verona fans came off and just the fans or the cops just battered them the whole way up to the stadium.
Welcome to Italy, man.
Yeah, and then they had water cannons on them then for the rest of the game, you know. So I saw that while I was there. The Venice Film Festival was on there while I was there.
Wow.
And then, of course, I saw then that Real Madrid were playing Roma. This is now my honeymoon, like, but I just went, fuck it, just see if I can get tickets for that as well. My poor wife. So I got 2 tickets for that. So we were sitting in the Liberty bar in Rome, and there was this guy watching the television, and he just said to the barman, switch channels to news, and it was the fucking Twin Towers went down.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was that time. And oh yeah, for the wedding as well, we ended up in an accident and emergency. My mother-in-law fell. She kind of was wearing high heels and she was taking, it's kind of like, you know that, what's the thing on You Being Framed? It was one of those moments where she kept back and back to get in the picture
Okay.
of us all at the table
You fell
and never
down?
saw the fucking wall behind her and disappeared out of sight. So our wedding day, after the meal, was spent around 3 hours in accident and emergency as well. So it's just all these, it was just all these things that happened on the honeymoon. So I went into full panic mode when I saw 18 years married. Shit, sorry, I have to cancel, you know.
You remind all the things. Oh my God.
So you're here tonight anyway, that's the main thing. What about, what was I going to say to you? Your guitar. What equipment do you use? Because you get a great sound out of it.
Yeah, I'm a proud fan of Gibson, man.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Gibson is my life, I can say, really. And I'm a big fan of other guitars too, but Gibson was always my love. And I mean, I tried many guitars, but when I found the Firebird Studio,
Right.
and I found it fantastic, the way how I can play it. And then it's very low tune. The kind of frequencies that you can create with that is very low.
Right.
When I bought that guitar was 2006. Is a guitar from 2004.
How much did you buy it new or
I
second
buy
hand?
new.
Wow,
for-
just beauty, man.
It was something like 889, something like this. I still remember that I was really chasing my mom to get the money because
Yeah.
I was broke, and
Yeah.
I say, look, mom, I'm gonna give you that back. Come on,
I'll make it back in record sales.
I paid her back very slowly, but I gave the money back to my mom, and but it was class. And at the time, we had a lot of problem in the studio with no conventional sound, in particular because we were a 6 pieces band, and there was a lot of instruments, and my guitar was actually too low frequency, so it was
Right.
too big.
Okay.
And I say, why is like this? I love it. And then after years, I say, I know the reason why I bought that guitar to make what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy. Then I have the Les Paul Studios. And the Les Paul Studio that I'm using and for the D drop tuning and
And the
because
amps?
with the Firebird I'm using B and A drop tuning.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
with them I'm using
Super crunchy.
exactly. So 54 size. The last string is a 54,
Yeah.
super big,
Yeah.
and to keep the low tuning
Yeah.
in the best way possible.
And amps?
Amps, I'm Ampeg addicted, so
Right.
I have S43 Pro for the bass amp, and actually Ampeg for guitar that actually is not in production anymore. It's called a GTV52,
Okay.
and I use them combined. So
Yeah.
actually using them all together is the reason of my sound is so big.
Yeah, it's
And then
class, man.
I
Yeah.
have a Fender, another Fender is a small amp, but actually I'm trying to move to something a bit bigger.
Mm.
But actually I using the third amp now at the moment that is a trio is giving more color in certain kind
Yeah.
of parts, so
Yeah.
it's giving more kind of range of frequencies. So.
Yeah, you can see that and hear it as well watching you live, you know. I just was wondering, like, how difficult is it to sing fucking change pedals and all that, like while you're
It was a big lesson that I learned during Order of the Mass, because being in a duo, and imagine I was coming from a 6 pieces to a duo. Okay, so everybody can listen to your mistake. So if you're actually the first gigs that we had with Order of the Mass were a disaster, because because I mean it's happened the first gig that we remember forever, it was in the pavilion downstairs, and at the time it was called the Pavilion, and actually we were supporting Opus Noise, and I mean I actually just have an electrical issue, and actually there was the silent, and it was unbelievably bad. I say, oh my god, what do I have to do? Then Massimo, the drummer of Order of the Mass, is a machine, is an amazing drummer, and so he was keeping doing his stuff, was a monster, an animal on drums, and but from that gig I say, I need to figure it out how to be more precise going through, and it was a huge lesson for me. That really these 4 years with Order of the Mass were super cool for me.
Yeah, of course, because you're standing out on your own. Also shout out to New Valley Wolves, who were really, really good at doing that whole duo stuff as well, aren't they? You've met them a few times, I presume.
We're big friends with Buzz and Johnny. They're nice guys. I mean,
so that was the first time I saw you actually as the Order of the Mess.
Cool.
With Paranoid Beast Promotions. Shout out to Mark there for that. And so have you just parked that at the moment?
With Order of the Mess?
Yeah.
It's actually, it's happened something weird with Massimo, and it's happened that, for some reason, we don't see each other for almost 1 year now.
Okay.
And it wasn't my will, unfortunately. And
is Massimo still in Cork?
He's still in Cork.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I just actually recently got a text from him, and I just wish him to be in a good place. And it was actually, I can say properly that really this EP that is coming out with the Last Vinci was something that he helped me a lot to go through this kind of distance that it's actually not for my will was created.
Yeah.
So, and because actually we went through some mad years with Order of the Mass were amazing. The things were going great.
Yeah.
And actually mainly from a day to another, actually, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I barely know the reason why he doesn't want to see me anymore, but it's happened something that I'm still here waiting for him in a certain way. So and it was suddenly from a day to another. Okay, and I'm very happy the fact that actually 1 year ago Brasco came over from Italy.
Yeah.
And there was kind of sort of switch, because Order of the Mass was born as a side project of the Last Vinci, in particular because my first band, Testa di Morte, the guys that recorded my first album, they were touring their set with their own band in Italy. So we did something like 40 gigs around Europe for the first album, but it was in 10 sessions, so we're doing something we did mainly 4 sessions of 10 gigs each, and in different kind of situation, but we were seeing each other for 3 weeks, then don't see each other for 3 months. So it wasn't easy at all for me, particularly as a musician. It's actually being a musician, you need to practice, you need to play, you need to keep the training on that, and so it's the reason why I was looking for other kind of solution. And then I went through Massimo, this drummer, and it was unreal. It was so good. And I started to write with him in a completely different way, and it was a good inspiration from me working with him. It was a crazy horse, but he's still a crazy horse. But he's a guy who's full of talents.
You can see it, man. You can see it live as well. How do you separate the songwriting from the Last Vinci to Order of the Mess? Do songs overlap? Is it hard for you to kind of put one aside for either one?
I cannot answer properly to this question. You know why? Because actually, for me, I'm able to do both. Okay. But life is weird. So it's happened that actually the thing has switched off between each other. Okay. So, and I did actually. It's funny because one of the first gigs that I did with Order of the Mass was the final gig of the UK tour of the Last Vinci of the first album. So it's a circle, It's actually that is something that I realized properly that what I'm doing with the Last Vinci at the moment, I'm very happy. I'm still writing a lot.
Yeah.
And
How do you find the time to write? I mean, you've got 5 kids. You keep down a full-time job. It's a credit to you.
I have a great wife.
You have a great wife.
Let's start from this point.
Yes, okay.
When I say that she's my manager, she is my manager.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that, with the time to write, sometimes I'm writing, the toilet is the main place where I'm writing music, I'm honest with you. No, but not only that, sometimes certain songs are coming from nowhere. I can tell you, it's happened to me sometimes to, playing with my kids and a riff coming in my head.
You start humming it or something.
Yeah. And I say, kids, give me 2 seconds. I take the phone, I record the stuff, and then thanks God I have the facilities in Cork in my own studio. They even go straight away and record some stuff and propose it to to someone. At the moment with in particular with Brasco, at the moment is class because we worked together in No Conventional Sounds for 10 years and more. So and we have huge connection between each other. So we don't have to talk too much.
Yeah.
We play and stuff are coming out. So Connell is unreal because I can tell you that, I can spoil it that we're writing a lot of new songs, man. This EP is an introduction of something, and this one happened in 2020, but don't tell to anybody.
Okay.
And actually,
you can come on as a 3-piece onto the show.
Why not? It's gonna be
Yes.
class.
Yeah.
And the thing that really is Connell is picking the things up in something like 2 seconds. I didn't have the time to finish. To say, oh, look, I'm doing a B or A, he already knows what to do.
Yes.
And I say, okay, physicist, I'm sorry. It's actually
Physicist.
actually because he's a real musician. So I find the time to write it, man. I don't know how, but I'm finding it's a need for me.
Yeah, but so it is a hectic life you have. Do you get a chance to listen to other people's music?
Absolutely.
Right. Where do you listen to it? On the car, on the way to work?
At work,
yeah.
Sometimes I'm able to listen to something like 6-7 albums per day.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of weird colleagues in my team, so I took the headphones and say, "Shut up! I'm gonna listen to music." It's my safe place.
Yeah.
I keep working and I'm listening to stuff. No, I'm still one of the guys buying albums.
Okay, yeah, you're like me, yeah.
I have this kind of, I have subscription to all the streaming services because I think that now at the moment is one of the way to support music, even if it's a weirder way. But I then buying CDs, buy merch, these kind of things. Yeah, I'm still the one that I want to listen on a CD in a car.
Yeah, that's very important for me because I don't think going into work, which is, again, that's the only time I really listen to them. I find Spotify's the sound quality in my car while I'm listening to songs is just lost, So I know a lot of lads kind of were happy to download Corrosa's new album. I had to get a physical CD copy of it and the benefits of it, playing it live on the CD. I was actually saying to the lads there, I was stuck in traffic the other day and I was just waiting for the saxophone solo to kick in for Skalteen, and I was just staring at the sunglasses and I was just going, oh, this is fucking beautiful. And I nearly playing the phantom saxophone, and there was just people on the other side going past. I just realized they were just staring in because the windows were down. It was just fucking blasting, and that's the CD quality. It's way different.
It's make the difference. And also with this kind of streaming services, there's no way, if you don't have a proper 5G connection, you're gonna lose all the kind of little details that actually we love to hear and listen to the album.
So what do you listen to at the moment then?
At the moment, I'm a lot of sort of Black Pigs. I don't know if you know them. It's a band from Brighton that is doing great things at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of Billie Eilish.
Of who?
Of Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. Never heard of him.
What do you want from me?
No, there's no point in even singing.
No, dear. She was one of the line of the Electric Picnic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's 16 years old.
Oh,
She's
fucking
unreal.
All right. Okay.
She's unreal. And of course, every now and then Metallica is always coming in the right place. When you're in a good mood and actually in a bad mood and I want to listen to something safe.
Yeah.
And Metallica is always the right place to go.
Yeah.
And Korn. A lot of Korn.
Slipknot as well, or
Last album of Slipknot.
yeah.
I really love it.
And what's there's Tool as well, you know? Have you listened to the Tool album now?
The Tool, yeah, I
Yeah.
listened. I was talking about this with someone else. I mean, I'm a big fan of Tool for some of their songs,
Yeah.
but sometimes, I mean, I was trying to say, come on, they're the Tool, they're doing great things. Yeah, but I wasn't too much inside this one. I listened 2 times,
Yeah.
and then, I put
Put
it
it
apart.
aside, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and kind of hero-wise then, I suppose you'd be, even looking at you on stage, you kind of remind me of a bit of Dave Grohl, you know?
Fighters,
Meet
man.
with Jack Black.
I'm Jack Roll. So
Jack Grohl.
yeah, Dave is my dad, but nobody knows that. He's my dad, and actually one day I'm gonna meet him and say, "Look, I'm your son," but you don't know that. No,
He's going to do the same to you.
yeah. I mean, actually, I got blown away going to see live Dan Crooked Vultures.
Oh, right.
Do you know
okay.
the
Yeah,
Crooked
yeah, yeah.
Vultures?
Yeah, I
And
do, yeah.
I went in Paris to see them
Oh, Paris is a great spot to see any
in
gig.
in the Zenith, and it was some Dave Grohl on drums. Is
Sick.
something like 50,000 more better than that he's on guitar and singing.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
yeah.
Unreal. I still have the kick sound coming in my brain,
Yeah.
and his drum kit, everything that he's doing on drums is something that is another level. I mean, Foo Fighters were a huge part of my life. And talking about the favorite bands after Metallica, the
Yeah.
things, Foo Fighters are a bit later. I mean, I went to see them the first time during the In Your Honor album, where it's the best of you, and
Yeah,
they were still a 4 pieces band. The goal was still in a very good shape,
yeah.
and I say no way. These are unbelievable. I saw them other 4 times then later.
Yeah.
So
Jesus,
it's-
okay.
and-
I've actually never seen him live.
no, one is a music experience. It's one
Yeah.
still on the band, rock band that are playing with no breaks for almost 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, he's kind of got a whole cult thing going around the fact that they're animals, like they just
They
beat
really
it up.
enjoy what they're doing,
yeah.
and this is the thing.
And it looks like he is having fun doing it, you know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, now we have. I mean, he has 3 kids as well, and the daughter is singing in the band.
what? Oh god.
Yeah, the biggest daughter is singing. Is the vocalist there?
I shake my head at that. You know, Max Cavalera now with Soulfly and fucking, you know, all the kids are involved now and the whole lot. Now, that said, the son is a just fantastic drummer, you know, but you know, Jesus, where does it stop? Like,
I know, it's true, it's true.
so you've got a load of tour dates to announce as well. So the next one,
Yeah, the next one is Galway.
okay,
Actually, we started touring Galway in the Russian upstairs with 2 class bands, Bannard Mare and With My Money. And it's gonna be the 13th of September. Then the day after, we're in Whelan upstairs,
right?
in
Whelan's.
Dublin.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
Yeah, I love playing Whelan's.
Yeah.
It's a class place. And then after that, we have the 20th. We're playing in Dive Records in Waterford with my lovely Bicurious and Broken from Waterford. And thanks to Viking Promotion.
Cool. Okay, I'm trying. Well, Broken will be on the show.
Really?
Yes. I made
Happy
contact.
days. They're
So-
super cool.
Yeah, well, I saw them in Youghal a few weeks back. They were supporting the Magna Pina, I think. They were great 3-piece.
Yeah, super cool.
And by Curious, are you managing them now? Is there a rumor going around?
Now, sorry, when you say it. Yeah, I'm their manager. Yeah, It's
okay.
another thing that I'm doing on top of all the rest of the things.
Jesus Christ, man.
Actually-
Maybe you should have been a juggler in a circus, man, keeping all those plates up in the air.
No.
It's incredible.
I love to do that for 24/7. This is the
Right,
thing.
yeah. So you're going to combine with By Curious on a tour, is it?
Yeah. Actually, we are doing a lot of gigs together, and I'm super happy because actually Tyra and Gav, they gave me the opportunity to play. I mean, it was the first gig. It was the launch gig of their last single. It was in the Wordsman Club. It was a gig with MCD, and I mean, they were very generally kind to me to let me play because I was coming out from a very bad place. So and they
How long ago was this?
was in March.
Right. Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was my club, and it was super good gig, and I'm still have it in my heart. Yeah, and of course, I mean, And talking about the logistic of a person that is working, playing, managing, all this kind of thing,
Yeah.
I just realized that I'm very free to say that I was almost finishing my holidays in terms of works, and I say, okay, if I'm going on tour in the UK tour, because actually my couriers have almost 30 gigs until the end of the year, and between Ireland, France, UK, and Italy, and I say if I want to give them a help to go somewhere
Yeah.
in a certain way, I need to combine the two things.
Okay.
And as soon as I say to the guys, and I was actually surprised by the feedback of the promoters, because I mean the guys they're playing post rock, I mean is instrumental rock,
Right.
and their genre in UK in particular is a niche genre, but they have a huge follow up. Okay, so and okay, I'm playing something that can match in a certain way, but is a bit distant. It's not instrumental, and
Right.
and they were super happy. I mean,
Yeah.
the math rock people, they have something special. I don't know what's happening. They're super all brilliant, super warm, welcome people. I'm impressed about it.
Yeah.
So actually, we do 4 gigs of the 7 that bikers are doing in UK
Yeah.
together. So
That's great, man.
yeah, actually, so after the Waterford gig, we have the EP lunch actually in Cork.
That's cool.
And
When
I wait
is
you
that?
there, man, on the 27th,
27th.
of September. Is a
Nice.
Friday, is in Poor Relation.
Yeah, great,
And
great venue.
And we play with the Hope is Noise and my new big love, they're called Mosmo Strange from Belfast.
All right.
And I really suggested to listen to that band because they are class.
Right.
We play together in Belfast on the 15th of June of this year, in the Zul warehouse, and it was a shock. It was a shock. They are very Queen of Stone Age style.
Oh,
but
okay. I was just going to ask what kind of
yeah,
style.
and but the way how they're doing the thing is amazing, really.
Right. So
and-
check them out. So they're at the album launch as well.
Yeah, they're gonna be at the
Cool.
album launch. I try to help them to play as much as they can around Ireland because they have a huge follow up in Belfast.
Yeah.
But they kind of band that say, "Oh, but we're confident in Belfast. Why you have to go away?" Say, so, guys, because you're cool, you have to. Everybody need to listen to your stuff. So so they were very nice. They were coming from Belfast to play.
Yeah.
for our last
The
gig.
amount of Belfast bands that are up there it's just unbelievable. The talent pool up there.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's cool.
It's really good, yeah. And they've no problem traveling down. They're put in the hard miles.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
they're in a kind of weird place in a certain way because they're Ireland, but they're not Ireland. They are
Yeah.
UK, but they're not UK.
Yeah,
so
so we just kind of keep our fingers crossed that whole Brexit thing won't fuck up everything. You know?
oh, let's see. I don't think that actually is going to happen in a certain way. I finger crossed that.
Yeah,
but
I think
for
we're
what
all
the
in
things
that boat.
exactly. But
Yeah.
because the way how they're behaving is unreally.
Yeah.
Really, my kids are behaving better anyway. So and after the 27th of September, we play in Limerick in the Dolans.
Brilliant. Yeah.
With We Come in Peace and God Alone, our
class.
lovely God Alone.
Lovely
and,
lads.
and by Curious again. So
Right.
actually, and then we go to the UK with we do Liverpool, Nottingham, Lincoln, and Brighton,
Right.
and then we're gonna have in my own town on the 7th of December on the Spazio 211, the place where actually I grew up. And a gig with Last Vinci and by Curious, gonna bring my guys in Italy, but
class.
there are other couple of gigs coming
They will
still to be announced. So
Yeah, you go all the ways out there, you'll probably need to play another 3 or 4 places.
at
Yeah.
a minimum, yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah.
So look, we will just say again, the new EP, The World, Enda Kenny, The Devil, The Vegans, and all the Millennials shit is being released on September the 27th. It'll be out in all streaming. Will there be CDs as well?
Yeah, they're gonna be physical copies
Cool.
to all the gigs in September,
Okay.
even before the release
Right.
on all the streaming platforms.
And the launch is on the what date?
The 27th.
The
of
27th as
September.
well.
On
Okay,
that
in the
day, it's
Poor
gonna be
Relation.
released all the platforms. We're gonna have all the CDs with us,
Okay,
and nothing gonna have merch and these kind of things. And
brilliant stuff, man.
that's the story, man.
Alex, thanks a million for coming on. I just wish you nothing but success. As I
Thank you,
said,
Richie.
you're just a fantastic band live to see as well. So be sure to go to that in any of the places he's mentioned: Waterford, Limerick, Cork, and where is the other place? Waterford, Limerick, Cork, and Dublin, is it?
In Dublin.
Dublin, yeah. In Whelan's, isn't it?
Yep.
That's a class spot. So that's it. You've been listening to the Metal Cell podcast. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you need to get in contact with me, at themetalcell@gmail.com. And we're going to leave you with another track from The Last Vinci. And again, thanks, Alex, for coming on. Over and out.